See Season 3 Episode 1 begins slightly over 8 months after the events of last year. After 256 days, we've arrived at the Trivantian, granite border. A tiny Trivantian caravan commanded by Wren is assaulted from all sides and forced to escape. Thankfully, they do, using a rope and some dubious CGI to slide down a deep crevasse. Wren and her men have been dispatched to crush the revolt, but it has devolved into a full-fledged battle that they are losing. To make matters worse, a man named Tormada appears to mock them, pointing out to Wren that she is losing the fight. This guy happens to be a lieutenant commander who served under the late General Edo Voss. He's the chief scientist, and a big deal. He also believes that science is going to be the turning point here. That science comes to fruition the next day as 200 soldiers prepare to attack Wren's position. The warriors are scared, trembling, and exhaling heavily. Tormada, on the other hand, appears unfazed. In truth, he's rather relaxed. He covers his ears as explosions rock the area. Hundreds of explosives are detonated, killing all approaching soldiers. Wren wanders amid the horrific ruins of Tormada, mutilated limbs protruding like ugly gravestones. Tormada is certain that if he can perfect these explosives, he would succeed where Edo failed. And, of course, he wants to form an alliance with Wren to do this. To be honest, she doesn't have much of a choice. She's effectively been pushed into it. Not only that, but he craves blood. Tormada has moved his focus to the east and plans to eliminate Peya and Baba Voss. Tormada is departing to find Baba, but he leaves behind the imposing presence of General Maddox to keep an eye on things and keep her in control. Meanwhile, Queen Kane is still alive and well, and she is ready to give birth. Magra is also present and assists with the delivery. It's touch and go for a few seconds, but the youngster ultimately starts wailing. Kane also decides to name the kid Wolf, after his father. Following this, Tamakti Jun and Harlan talk with Magra about her half of the bargain. If you'll remember, she's supposed to hand over Kane to the Trivantians once she's delivered her child. Magra ignores them, though, instead busying herself with feeding the child. The thing is, if they don't hold up their end of the bargain, it could lead to a big fight. Coffin rejects his child as well, embarrassed by what has happened given that his child's mother is a deranged, violent maniac. Harlan gives him some words of support, and the two end up sharing a drink outdoors. We've heard a lot about Baba Voss in this episode, and now we finally get to see him alone in the woods. Baba continues his quest after assisting an injured wild dog, but he is not alone. He's been living with Lou for a few months now, and things are getting tight. Baba is also present and tells Baba that he is a wonderful leader, but he is not convinced. With the people revolting against Queen Kane and a civil war looming, the focus shifts to whether or not they should hand over Queen Kane to the Trivantians. Magra's support for Kane hasn't helped matters either, with the possibility of murdering Kane being discussed and debated within this small council. According to common belief, Kane died from childbirth problems. When it's discovered that the Trivantians genuinely desire a public trial, it doesn't sit well with Magra or the Trivantians. They wanted Kane to be alive. Magra rapidly realizes that this means her sister will be tormented and held alive for years. But it will also save their tribe. Unfortunately, Magra decides not to hand Kane over, much to Tamakti Jun's displeasure. This is not going to go well. As the episode concludes, we return to Baba Voss, who discovers he is not alone. Tormada has found him and is taunting Baba about the essence of death. He vows to murder his wife and children. However, when Bo Lion attempts to outrun the scientist, she steps on an explosive and is thrown sky high. C returns, and we immediately flash forward to Queen Kane's birth and the turmoil that ensued. In some ways, C lost its potential in Season 1 when it was revealed that there were firearms in this world and people who were blind. These two combinations severely ruin the world-building and damage the plausibility of this desolate world. Aside from that, this first episode mainly introduces us to a new menace in Tormada and his psychotic passion for explosives, as well as a brief catch-up with our different characters. There's nothing really noteworthy here, but following the events of Season 2, it'll be fascinating to see how this story closes in the final season. Either way, though, that ending seems to hint that Baba Voss is about to head back to Peya to protect his tribe, and that could well result in more battles to come. We'll have to wait and see, though. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to comment, subscribe and give us a like.